Hello friends, just one other thing I wanted to add about why Siennas or minivans are so amazing. So, this is something I really didn't think of until I just started driving my Sienna and like 2 videos ago. So, I was driving and I noticed that there are a lot of people that use their vans, their camper vans, as a daily driver, which is also very efficient. I know a lot of other people that own big RVs and all this other jazz that use their RVs as just a recreational vehicle. So I don't think, having an entire vehicle, again, I'm speaking from a minivan perspective. Maybe sprinters are a little bit different. Maybe people that own sprinters or like a ProMaster or a Transit, it's a little bit different with something like that. But I know a lot of RVers don't drive their RVs back and forth to work. At least I hope not. It's probably not very fuel efficient to do that. But I don't know. If you own a Sprinter or a ProMaster or a Transit, let me know if you guys drive that stuff on a daily basis, like back and forth to work. Because this is what's really cool about the van life and having an actual like minivan that you decked out is that you can use it as a daily driver, which is very, very cost efficient. You don't have to insure another vehicle. You don't have to have the upkeep and maintenance cost associated with another vehicle. So I find that really, really appealing when I'm looking for something to go camping in. Travel trailers, that was another thing. When I had my travel trailer, I had to have insurance and all this other jazz, and I had the maintenance associated with it. When I have the van, it's all just one thing, and I found that really, really cool. So I wanted to pass that little nugget of information off to you guys. So here in the future, actually let me add this one part in. I actually did a survey on a Facebook group that I'm part of, which was pretty cool, and I asked people, straight out, are you guys using your van as a daily driver? And 88% of respondents, I had about 45 respondents at so far because it's still on there, actually say that they use their van as a daily driver. So that is actually really awesome. That's radical. I find that really cool. Having a vehicle that's got so much functionality, that's dual purpose, which is really sweet. So another reason why vans are amazing. I don't know if I highlighted that in my video or not, but yeah, that was really cool. So updates. Let's see here. Next videos, I want to do a little bit more work on like heating and heaters, because I noticed my 100-watt heater, I tested it out in my van the other day. It's 16 degrees out right now. And I tested my 100-watt heater out in my van, and it didn't do very much. Again, I used that heater when it was probably, let's see here, probably when it was like 60 degrees out at night when I was camping with it over the summer. So it took the edge off, but I want to get a little bit more powerful of a heater. I also want to get a little bit more powerful of a solar generator, because a 600 watt solar generator, watt hour solar generator, is not going to be powerful enough to power a, like a 300 watt space heater for very long. I mean, 2 hours, that's basically it. 600 divided by, 2 is 300, so you have that's how long the space heater would last. So I want to get something a little bit more powerful. I've been eyeballing a couple different small space heaters, and I want to try them out. I've been following a lot of awesome people that have real small space heaters for like a teardrop trailer, which I found absolutely awesome. Again, a teardrop trailer is not really as big as a van is. I have more space in the van, so I've got to take that into consideration. The rule of thumb is usually, I think it's 5 watts for every square foot that you have. So if your van is, bigger, you'll need a bigger space heater. So it's usually like 5 to 10. I put it in my last video when I was talking about heating, in the description, 5 to 10 watts per square foot. So I found that really, really interesting. Just kind of using that as a loose formula so I can calculate how big my van is. My van, I have a 4x8 sheet of plywood I can fit down in the back, so I'm kind of using that, 32 feet as a base. So yeah, I thought that was kind of neat. Again, nothing in concrete or anything like that. I got the 32 by 4 multiplied by 8. That's how I got the square footage of just basic back of my Sienna. So about 32 square feet ish, is about how much is back there. So you'd want something about 320 watts to heat it sufficiently. So I'm going to look for something about, I found a Honeywell heater, which looks pretty amazing, looks pretty appealing because it's got 2 settings. And this guy was able to produce 250 watts with it and 150 watts with it. And I thought that was pretty cool. That might be sufficient in order to heat the back of the Sienna. And again, I want to be able minimally to run it. It won't be running the whole time. That's what you got to remember. The continuous power of a, small space heater, you don't want it to continuously run all night. But just me personally, you guys know I kind of dig electric. So for something like that, having a 2,000 watt, maybe solar generator would be a little bit more, would be a better idea than a simple 600 watt. So a 2,000 watt solar generator, I could probably run that for like 8 hours, which would be awesome. And again, it wouldn't be continuous. It would kick on whatever the thermostat is set at. And that's another thing I kind of have to figure out, is get myself a digital thermostat controller in order to set exactly where I want to be. So I'm looking for having one built in to the actual heater would be actually awesome. If I found a 250 watt heater that had the dual setting on it, low and high, but had a thermostat, that would be boss. So yeah, if you guys have any ideas, let me know, and I'll order one and test it out. But I think my 100 watt isn't really, it's not really scratching the surface. It's better for like maintaining heat. And I kind of want to stay a little bit with, I don't want to introduce propane or anything like that, or a diesel heater into my van. I think something like that might be a little bit overkill. Plus, I just, they're safe to most people, but me, I'm kind of clumsy. I would definitely leave it on or something like that. So there's always that in the back of my head. But I like the idea of having electric and just experimenting with a solar generator. And I'll have to upgrade my solar panels as well if I do that. So a lot of new ideas kind of swimming around my head, things that I'm going to do. Next summer, I'm just kind of planning everything out now, getting your guys' feedback, seeing what it all looks like. So, thank you so much for being a part of my channel. Thank you for everything you guys contribute. Make sure you look at my Patreon and subscribe and watch my videos. I'm only at like 250 subscribers now. Make sure you find your friends, dig them out, tell them to subscribe. All right, thanks again.